First question here on the left, Joel.
Joel Lorenz with Tamara.
Hey, Joel.
Obviously, Indy, it felt like last game spent as much energy as they have all series trying to slow Shea. I know you guys didn't do anything yesterday, but between the film and the walkthrough, like, are you emphasizing maybe other outlets for Shea to sort of prevent what happened last game?
Yeah, I think if you look at the previous series, when they come home, that tends to be the mode they get in terms of the pressure. I thought we were prepared for that. I thought we attacked it well for portions of the game. Obviously, we had really good stretches and didn't attack it well enough for enough of the game, and that's the challenge tonight. We know they're going to pressure again. They've been pretty consistent with that. We think we have some solutions to that, but we got to go do it, and we've got to have the will to have more force than they have, pressure and physicality on the perimeter.
Second row over here.
So the cross match with Pascal Siakam has been a big motivator of what the Pacers are trying to attack through. What have you made of how you guys have operated against that so far in the series?
On our defense, correct?
Yes.
Of Siakam, yeah. Mixed. I think we've had really good moments against him and limited his impact at different times. I thought in Game 3 they came out very, very focused on getting him going. And he's a really good player, and we've learned in these previous series with the all-star level players, you can do a good job on them, but you're not holding them down for the course of the series. And he's no exception. Halliburton's no exception. Their team's no exception. So we just got to continue to make them earn everything. I think generally over 3 games we've done a decent job of that, but the most important game is now Game 4. We got to do it again.
Next row back, Nick.
Mark, just what you all need from a force standpoint out top on their screening action? Some of them seem to be kind of muddy. They've got multiple guys up there. They're not always setting a screen. They're kind of flying out and touch screens too. Just how do you deal with all of that action in terms of the discipline and the force that you need?
Yeah, I mean, they set a lot of those. They slip out of more screens than any team in the NBA, so they're not always setting. But the volume of screens that you're dealing with against them is very, very high. I think they set 111 in Game 3, which is the high in the series. And so, being able to neutralize advantages for as many, you're not going to be perfect with 111 of anything, but neutralize as many advantages as we can, which takes great effort, focus, everything. But that's what we've done all season, is built those muscles. We now got to go apply those here in Game 4.
Coach, the Pacers made many successful cuts in the last game. What's your focus plan for protecting the rim tonight?
Well, they start with advantages usually, so usually those plays are downstream from an initial advantage. So similar type of answer that I just gave to Nick, which is you try to neutralize their advantages as much as possible. That could be transition, that could be in the pick and roll game, it could be any other way they try to do it, post-ups. But when you allow advantages, you allow, there's a Siakam post-up, we allow a deep catch in transition, and Mathurin gets a cut, to that point. So a lot of times it's less about the cut, it's more about what created the initial advantage. But we're trying to take away as much as we can, obviously, against a good team.
Greg, middle, second row.
Mark, hey, Greg Doyle from Indy Star. Do you mind putting some perspective on the number 111? Is that A, 111 screens for Halliburton? And B, you said that's the most in the series. What's a normal number?
I mean, for them, first of all, it's not Halliburton, it's their team.
Okay.
It's the amount of times 2 guys came together in a screening action. Their average coming in was probably mid-90s, so the 111 is very high. Some of that's a good thing because it means you're forcing them to multiple on a possession. But I think it just speaks to the volume of pressure that they're putting on you in the pick and roll game.
Up front.
Mark, when you're defending a guy like Tyrese, I guess how does it challenge you when he's such an unconventional player? For example, he jumps in the air to pass, probably more than anybody in the NBA. You don't teach that as a kid growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the great players, and he's a great player, there is a level of unconventionality. Is that a word? That's the right room to ask, right? There's a level of unconventionality to the great players, and it takes some getting used to, and that's the beauty of the series. But whether it's the twitch of Anthony Edwards or Jokic's mastery of the passing and the post, all of his stuff, you got to learn it as you go in the series, and that's why, you know, as emotional as the wins and losses are, we really want to try to improve through the series, because as the series goes, you have the opportunity to do that. And part of that improvement is learning the opponent and what it feels like to defend them. But he is a very unorthodox player and a great player.
Anyone else with a final question? Last one in the back left. Aurelia? There you go.
Hey, Coach. First of all, do you think it helped that you just had the one free day in between now, game 3 and 4? And also, can you share like the biggest takeaway after watching film, how these turnovers happened, that you maybe can share how to avoid this time?
Yeah, the one day, you know, is what it is. It's the same for both teams. Coming off of that, we're excited to play tonight. So we're glad we're playing tonight, probably, if we had the choice. And the turnovers, I mean, we've been pretty clean there. So it's a balance. You know, you want to address the things that are problematic, but you also don't want to overreact to individual games. And we've been very, very clean with our turnovers all season and even in these playoffs. And so, you know, we looked at some of them, but again, we're not going to chase our shadow, you know, in these situations. We're just taking everything we can from the previous games to do the best we can in game 4. That's what our focus is.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.